Hey, family, welcome to the Hype Man channel. You came to be motivated, we came to take you there. So let's grow better, be better, and do better. How you guys doing? This is Base iMANi.
Yes, this is Coach Green Jane.
Hey, and before we get started, you know what we do. I want you to like, subscribe, and ring the bell, man, for weekly
Yeah.
content. And this week, you get in double the dose of content. Hey, so we know y'all was missing us the past couple of weeks, but as you saw in the last episode, Coach Green, Gene, and me have been doing big things. I sneak peeked on my stuff, but if you watch the last episode, you'll mean to see Coach Green, Gene's greatest real estate project ever that he's been working on these last couple of weeks. So pause this one and watch the last episode, and come back to this one. But outside of that, today I'm going to be talking about my interview that I had last week with an amazing startup company. But before I start, Coach, how are you feeling? What's
Man,
going on?
you know what? I'm feeling much better. Thanks for asking, Imani. Much better. It's been a lot of difficulties surrounding just getting emotionally with me and your mom getting together this our home project and actually bringing it to a close, finishing some of you know uh, the home improvements in order to put the house on the market, and just going through all of you guys things when you guys were kids, being homeschooled and your clothes and just unclothing all kind of memories has been an event within itself. But I tell you, we're doing it and everything is looking real good, so very excited, man, very
Hey
excited.
man, that's amazing. I'm so happy uh it's going well. Like I'm seeing behind you, you got work, you got like, all this stuff showing around and beams on the wall. Man, I'm so happy for what you all doing. I know my
this was
mom.
this was our this was our old studio. This is where we did all those music projects together.
Yeah,
All that music you, me and your mom was doing, recording all that music. So we
eh,
stripped it down and making it into a bedroom for the next family.
man. And I have to say this, how it's an inspirational and like mind blowing is you all have transformed a 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom house into a 4 bedroom, 1.5 bathroom house. And how
Yes.
amazing it is how y'all are basically majority doing it by yourself, and how you're able to leverage your experience within real estate, within construction, within everything to just bring all this together. I love it because it shows the importance of having trade skills. If you can believe it, like still in 2022, it's important to be able to use your hands. You feel me? We talk all the time about head, heart, hands, but it's great to be intelligent. It's great to be emotionally clear and to be able to connect all that spiritually. But if you can't use your hands, man, like I don't know what to tell you. Talk to Coach Green G.
Hey, I show my faith by my work.
Yes, yes, exactly, man. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to talk about my interview experience. So, right now, as I've been hinting at, I am in the Venture for America Fellowship. This is a fellowship where you apply to get into the fellowship and then you take it to the next step. After once you get into a fellowship, you do a training camp. But the point of it is to work with the startup, get paid while you're working with the startup, but get hands on experience working within entrepreneurship, either with a startup business or a small business, or for some companies are in their growth phase, they're entering the phase where they're preparing to enter the stock market, like the SPX 500, the NAS 100. So whatever level you're looking to grow in, you can find a company within that, within the Venture for America. And so I made into the fellowship, and I had thank you. And then I had my interview, my final phase interview for a company called Made at Dent last week. So a little background of this company. They're a really dope company. I don't want to tell everything. Like, I want y'all to go check out the website. I have the website down there. Free publicity. They're cool people. But basically what they do business to business sales and business to customer sales for maker products. So they make products using 3D printers, heat presses, which you can use to make like t-shirts and other things along that, also using something called a Cricut vinyl printer, which is honestly, side note, coolest thing. After the video, look up a Cricut vinyl printer. A Cricut vinyl cutter. I've never heard of this thing prior to this, so it was really cool. And they also use 3D printers, which I loved because I've always been one of the best, if not the best, student within like all of my collegiate high school career when it came to using 3D design, modeling things online. Like I can make your phone on the computer, all in the intricate parts and assemble it all together if I wanted to. So being able to leverage that for this final interview was really, really amazing. But the greatest thing and the best opportunity that came from it was the main part I want to talk about: knowing how to leverage your passions to serve you in every phase of your life.
Wow. I'm
And
excited.
so,
Let's go. Let's do this.
yes, sir. And so what I mean by that is I love music, okay? But I also love this game called Magic the Gathering. Check it out. It's really cool. That company last year made over $500 million in profit, not revenue, not in sales. That's profit after taxes, after expenses, all that stuff. Okay. Over $500 million. And this company is under another company named Hasbro. Okay. So this Hasbro is the same company that makes Nerf, Play-Doh, sells the Marvel toys, the largest movie franchise. All their toys come from this. And a 30-year-old trading card game basically made is getting 70% of Hasbro profits. It's really like it's crazy. This came out in 1993. So what I did was I leveraged the income and the profits gained through Wizards of the Coast, the company that makes the game Magic the Gathering, under Hasbro, and I leveraged it and I designed a 3D box, a 3D printed deck box for the Magic the Gathering. You have these cards, you need a deck box. Why do you need a deck box? These cards can range from 1 cent to $250,000, okay, per card. And each collector will buy anywhere from hundreds to maybe thousands of cards per person. So you have to protect these cards, you feel me? Because if each card is $1 or $20 or $100 or $1,000, you want to be able to protect those cards in a deck box. And a 3D printed deck box made of the right polymer is the best thing. Like I said, I love the game. For my birthday, which was Juneteenth, shout out to the Geminis, I actually purchased a nice sum of cards, and it was $300 worth of cards, and half the value of the cards came from 6 cards of 43 cards. So you could see like how valuable each card can be. So you need protection for it. So what I loved about this experience is that being able to leverage my love for this game into an actual interview, coach, I cannot tell you how excited I was to go into an interview. Like, for anyone who's had an interview before, I want y'all to put down in the comment down last time y'all had an interview. It can be really nerve-wracking. And the higher you go within your professional career, young, old, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're applying from a cashier at McDonald's to becoming a manager. It can be daunting. I don't care if you're going from a level 1 superintendent to a level 3 superintendent. It can be daunting and nervous to go into an interview, especially when the craziest thing about startup interviews is they're expecting you to be able to grow their business because they're still either in the beginning or building stage. So they're asking for more than, oh, what's your experience and what's this? That's the beginning. They'll look at your resume in the beginning. They're expecting you to pitch them. So if anybody's seen the popular show Shark Tank, that's basically what I was doing. I was pitching a product to them. In addition, they want you to do a SWOT analysis of their company. They want you to use their regular designing tools. So you have to learn how to use their designer tools in order to present. And so you're using the Cricut vinyl color software. You're using all these different software to create a newsletter for everything. And so all these complex things, it adds on to the level of intimidation you may feel into an interview. But I'm here to tell you that in order to overcome that intimidation, in order to overcome that nervousness, you want to find your passion and grab it and then apply it to wherever you love. So, for example, one of my very good friends, shout out to James Davis, he loves farming. In that aspect of making a product that he could have done, it could have been a tool that farmers could have used. And it could be something as simple as a 3D printer 3D printer piece that can connect to a hose and says, hey, these are something you could sell to farmers at the end of their hose. And so they don't, it's a lot easier and it's a lot more economical and it's 100% biodegradable. So if it gets left, if it falls off or breaks, it gets left in the sand, it's 100% biodegradable. And so it's amazing to be able to connect these dots of where you're in love with your passion, which with the tough tasks that come in life. For me, it was an interview. So the interview went great. I loved it. It was so much fun. I got to meet the CEO, their head of their team, of all their different divisions and the heads of all their different divisions. And I really loved it and they loved me. And so I'll be hearing back from them this week. And so I'm excited. I loved it.
Wow. That's amazing. All claps, all hype, all you win the Hype Man Award for this week and this season. I mean,
thank you.
it sounds so refreshing. And I just want to say, man, is that you truly have a gift
Thank you.
for what you're doing. I mean, when we talk about entrepreneurship, we're talking about being fresh and being on point as it relates to being excited about your passion. Um, you have done an amazing job with just sharing that, during this episode. And I just wanted to say thank you because what you're doing is you're challenging all of us. Even if you don't think you have a special gift at, presenting, at Fortune 500 companies or coming off the cuff with some main ideas, I think, Monty, why don't you just share with us just some of the things that, additional things that people can use in order to tap in? Because, I don't want anybody to get intimidated because you have this gift and this awareness about yourself,
Yes.
who you are, and to be able to share that with others. Sometimes it takes a very long time for individuals to get to that point where you're at right now. What are some things, pointers, or some things that young people, young emerging professionals can do in order to get in that position where they're being confident themselves?
All right. So the first advice I can give is when you go into an interview or any tough time, you want to be your most authentic version of yourself. What do I mean by that? As a Black man, I will be completely candid. When I first did my interview for being a mechanical engineer, my mentality was I'm the best of the best of the best. And you want me because your company is the best of the best of the best. And you will be the greatest and all these things. And though I do know, I like my saying is it's hard to be your best self. It was easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. I say that all the time. So I do see myself as the best. However, is that authentic? Am I a machine? No. Shifting that 2 years later, when I applied to Venture for America, when I first had the interview for going in there, and even more into my interview with made that dent, my intention was I didn't get into Venture America being something I wasn't. So and all the time people say, put your best foot forward. So why can't my foot be the best foot forward? Why can't my most authentic self be the foot that takes me to where I want to go, be the stride that takes me to my dreams? So I definitely believe the best thing is to be authentic to yourself. However, Coach said it right. It can be difficult to be authentic if you didn't get to know yourself. A lot of young professionals out there right now don't have enough life to have lived, to have known themselves. And even with a lot of seasoned professionals, a lot of times when you get into your career, you spend so much time providing for your family that you may ignore that time that should have been spent to get to know yourself. And I'm talking a little deeper than just, hey, I like to fish on the weekends. No, I'm talking about when your wife walk up to you screaming and you don't know why you snap back and you getting real mad and stuff. And you think it because you mad at her, but in reality, you remember one of your friends at school or a bully at school at 6th grade used to do the exact same thing to you. And it's not her you're mad at, it's some bully in 6th grade that just kept picking at you and kept picking at you. Now, anytime anybody walks with you with a right angle and then leans their head forward, you have PTSD and just start snapping like, hey, oh, it it's a whole thing where you have to uncover the layers and peel the onion back. And even though it may make you cry, it may make you uncomfortable, you have to peel it back and get to know yourself. Because as a professional, you have to be both complete financially, but both emotionally, spiritually, mentally, taking those time to figure out why I am the way I am. That is how you reach the authenticity you need in order to be the best professional you can be as a hype woman and as a hype man. And it's whatever type of hype you want to be as a hype individual, authenticity is key.
Wow, that was heavy. I want to say, you know what, you gave the professional doctoral answer.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say you gave the professional doctoral answer, because the way you broke that down, um, as it relates to getting to know yourself and what me and your mom calls the pies, the physical, the intellectual, the emotional, and the spiritual.
Yes.
Depending on where you're at and what season of your life, sometimes peeling back that onion takes time, and you need to be surrounded by community and people who love you. Maybe it's one or three people. That can be very, very daunting and challenging, um, but it can be done with discipline and consistency, and an attitude of being tired of being sick and tired.
Mm,
And that's not I don't even want to give the notion that, that that's something that can be done overnight. And so you explaining what you were explaining, just was very beautiful and amazing. Uh, but you'd have to pick your big boy and your big girl pants on in order to climb that mountain to get to the center of yourself. When you
mm,
talk about from an adult perspective, when you were talking, it was almost like you were talking to me, a 45, 50-year-old, 45, 30-year-old person who's lived life, done their career, put in 25, 30 years, was killing the game, and at the heart of it, haven't hit the center focus of who they were, because they were always out doing the right thing for their family or doing the right thing for their company, but not doing the right thing by themselves
yes.
in order to discover their own secret signature move,
Yes.
discovering and understanding their why. And so now they have to pull even, spend time and resources and energy with therapists and people that love them to sit still, you know, to sit still in quietness to really get. It's possible and it can be done, but it's about being also being deconditioned in the mind that having more is better. You have to be deconditioned by just having, just being a consumer, having more and more and access to more and more, and getting into a mindset, not a minimalist mindset, but a mindset of being present,
Yes.
being present with yourself. Um, I did want to break it down just a little from, my conversation with a cousin of ours. She is a welder, and she's probably maybe 20. She's Jean's age. She's
27.
27, but I'll say that maybe she may be, yeah, 26, 27, yeah. And she's at that point where she's like really trying to figure out what it is that she wants to be and do. And so she's in between companies, or she's at a company. She enjoys the welding, but she's like, okay, is this what I really want to be doing, with my life 3 to 4 or 5 years from now? She's asking me, how do I know, or how do I transition, or where do I begin? And my suggestion to her was to begin right where she is,
You
and
said
to
it.
and to be the best welder in that shop. Because you picking up and jumping from job to job to job to job, first of all, you're not showing any security that another employer would hire you, or that you would even hire yourself.
Mm.
You know, would you even hire you? So to bet on yourself means that you've shown not only people around you, but yourself, that you have stick to itiveness when the thing get hard. Okay, now I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself right now.
Coach, man, coach, you took
So,
the words out of my mouth. I want you to keep going, man.
so yeah, just to close it out is that I told her that you work harder than you've ever worked before. And I'm not just talking about being a company man and a company woman. But what I am talking about is when something is needed, you find yourself there to have the answer before the question is asked. That
Mm.
means you've studied your craft to such an extent that you're a problem solver, and
Yeah.
you actually discovering how to use the tools, the company systems, and make give people different perspectives and different approaches and how they approach their job, because it's people that are going to be there looking at you, and it's your energy that's actually going to assist with adding value to everything you do. And when you do that, you, as well as other people around you, people will begin to say, you know what, when you do this, that shines about you. I appreciate that. This is what I really need you for in our business, or would you mind doing this or helping these kind of people? Because when you give your all, your 110%, your heart, your head, your hearts, and executing it through your hands, that is when you begin to see your signature move. Because then you're able to go into your book bag seasons later and say, you know what? I have noticed that
Yes.
I when I show up professionally, this is what I bring. No matter who jumps at me crazy, no matter where the work day is going, or the contract is going, or if the boss or the manager is tripping out, this is how I show up without any confusion, any mess. And no matter what kind of mess goes around me, I come and I show up, and this is what I bring. And
Yes.
that mentality and that attitude, you'll begin to see what your signature move is, and then doors will begin to open for your next venture, whatever that is. Whether it's another job or another opportunity to do your own business, working with other people.
Yes.
Some pop on the TV, a conversation may pop up. Another LinkedIn professional may see you or call you, or the word may get out. You know, and they're
Yes.
looking for women entrepreneurs or minority entrepreneurs or anybody to help do a startup. And then that's when I think that people begin to speak and talk on the levels that you're talking on as it relates to this Shark Tank. Because now
Yeah.
you're not working from right here, but you're working from here, here, and here. That's
Yeah.
right. You in your, what iMANi calls your flow state.
Yes. I love, Coach, how you broke that down, because I was literally just gonna say start where you are. I agree with you, because at first, when you're in your career, in these 20s years, you're looking at, and you ask yourself, is this what I really want to do? You gotta move right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, like, you have to make a choice right here, right now, and say, like, all right, I don't know what I want to do, but let me just do what I'm doing at the highest frequency, at the best. I'm going to be the best at whatever I do. I like the way your dad told you back in the day, hey, if I'm going to be the sweeper in the auto shop, I'm about to be the best sweeper, if possible, in the auto shop that's possible. And it ain't going to be one crumb on this ground. Every 30 minutes, I'm doubling back. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be the best I can. Coach didn't want to sweep auto shops for the rest of his life, but he had to do something right there and get, how he says, get on his grind and do something. And even if it lets you know, I don't ever want to sweep the floor again, now you know one more thing you don't want to do. But I resonate, you know, like, and that is knowing what you don't want to do from experience is just as important from what you want to do as a dream. But I want to also say I resonate with that a lot because that's what I did on my own path. When I was a mechanical engineer, I knew 8 months before I left my job that I felt that for me it was a spiritual sign. Like, I don't want to be with this company anymore. I need to leave. It's time. That didn't mean I started getting lazy. On the contrary, I worked harder for that company than I ever did for my entire, like, I'm talking about, I was exhausted. I kid you not. Life was tough. However, that extra work gave me a raise right before I left, giving me the extra money to sustain myself. That showed me and gave me the confidence to know that there's no field within this professional work that I can't do. Mechanical engineering being one of the most difficult ones that you're supposed to have to do for decades and decades to be competent in. I realize mechanical engineering is you have to just have the willingness to ask a question. I feel like it's very similar in a lot of the trades fields. It's not that it's too hard. You just need experience, but even more, ask questions. Somebody knows the answer. But most of all, it gave me the positioning to know confidently, hey, I did engineering and I was great at it. However, I don't want to do that no more. It's okay. And it was no hard offense. It's not the engineering is bad. I realized to me that the passion was different from me and my peers. And I saw what it looks like when somebody was passionate about engineering versus somebody who was forcing themselves to do engineering. So fast forward 6, 7, 8, 9 months, and I'm giving my Shark Tank pitch to this company. Before I went into the pitch, I said, I have to find something I'm passionate about, a topic, because I saw my peers who were passionate at my company, how we both were producing the same, but it was an energy they had. And so I just wanted to just double down. And if you got to wind it back 7 minutes and 33 seconds to re-listen to what Coach just said, I want you to listen to what he said again and take it to heart, because what he said is the truth. Know when it's time to get on your grind and know when it's time to work harder. So I just wanted to say that, man.
You might always love talking to you, brother, man. You get hype man medicine, man. That hype man.
Well, I'm right there with you. I really enjoy it. I love talking with you too, Coach. Like, I kid you not, like, it brings me new energy. It brings new life. It brings me new life. And I just, man, I've known you for my entire life, but this show has brought another level of respect layer to me, because I get to see your excellence in a whole different field, in just having these deep intellectual and even surface level conversations that, as we peel the layers, I get to know more and more about you and say, wow, this is an amazing, abundant man who is living his entire best life. And so
Thank you. And I'm doing the same for you when I see you speak and I see myself and your mom in you. And I'm like, man, we knew what you knew at your age. What would we be? I mean, because, yeah, I'm going to just leave it at that and just say, I thank God for you, brother. I thank God for you, young man.
Thank you. I thank God for you as well, man. But there's one other thing I got to thank God for. The big check-in, boy! Hit it with it. Wait, let me move the hair out the way, man. Let me.
Yes. You Tracy, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. In case y'all didn't know, yeah, it's touching my tailbone. It's touching my tailbone. Like,
yeah.
You Tracy. Show us the beard, Coach. Show us the beard, Coach. Woo! Yes. Oh man, I like it. I like it. Oh, boy, hey, pull the hair, pull the hair. They see, tell me they doing nothing, boy. I have to say, I've been noticing this. I love that you have this right here growing in right here, and it inspires me not to shave this part in right here. It actually is very much connected with my beard tip of the week for inspiration in your beard. This is for the young folks. Look to your father and your grandfather. For me, I know I have confidence. I don't have to shave this off because I see these hairs growing in here. You can very lightly see the hairs growing in, and I can look at my father and say, "Hey, this part of my beard is still growing in," because I can look at my father and I can see it. It's similar how Bop and Bop. I grew my beard up taller, and my father has the same Bop and Bop, and mine's growing in slowly but surely. But I can look to my father and be like, "Hey, that's a high possibility. I'll have that same potential with my beard to have that part growing." So it's exciting to be able to look at your father and say, "Oh yeah, I need to leave it in because then I can connect it right there." Yeah. So yeah. Who needs a black lightning beard when you can have a Coach Green Jean beard? You know what I'm saying? But health and wellness tip, Coach, hit us with it. Hit us with it.
Man, health and wealth. I was thinking, and I was trying to allow it to, to flow from me in the conversation I was having with your mom earlier, but it had to do with mentorship. Um, uh, and actually, someone that had mentored me, and they kind of assisted me on how to learn lessons by actually taking your time and going through the process and not rush. So the health and wellness tip for today is not to rush through the process.
Yes.
Take it and enjoy the journey.
I love that. I love that, man. Well, thank you so much, Coach. Can you please follow that? No, you're welcome. I appreciate you for having me, man. And can you please follow that up by letting us know where we can find you at on social media?
Yeah. So again, all the social media spots, the YouTube, the Facebook, and LinkedIn, Coach Green Jean. And then you can check my link tree out right there where you can just see everything that I do and working with my business partner, Dr. Dula. We work with energy work and we work with families on building legacy, husbands and wives and singles and people that are just building legacy and relationships. So.
100%, man. And you can find me at Linktree at base_iMANi. You can find me on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, everything. You can find me on there. And so just check me out. I'm most active on Instagram. I love you guys. We are the Hype Man, and I want to thank you all for coming. Peace.
Peace.